KURINJI Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Neet, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
KURINJI Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Good evening students. This video a conclusion topic of principles of inheritance and variation. In the principles of inheritance and variation chapter, it is covered by our botany sir and myself. This is regarding Neet chapter, Neet syllabus. Here from the sexual determination onwards I started to explanation. So in this chapter, sexual determination wise, we completed what are the different type of sexual determination we seen in the different individuals, that is completed. Later pedigree analysis and chromosomal theory also we seen in the sexual determination. Genic balance theory, after that haplodiploidy theory also we seen. After that pedigree analysis. Okay, by the using of the separate specific symbols, how we can able to trace out the disorders of the organisms. Now that disorders are how it will be affected to a person means maybe it is a chances of mutations, correct now. So what are the types of mutations, how it will leads, what are the agents of mutagens, that we see in physical mutagens and chemical mutagens, and some of the living things also leads to the mutations, whatever it is, right. Then after that I started to discuss about genetic disorders. In the genetic disorders, we separated the genetic disorders into the two categories. One category belongs to Mendelian genetic disorders or point mutations, point disorders. Okay, so which are the genetic disorders are obeying the Mendelian rules, those we call as a Mendelian genetic disorders or genic disorders, genetic levels disorders. In that autosomal, allosomal we seen, correct now. In the last video we discussed sexual chromosomal disorders. Okay, I started about the chromosomal disorders. In that sexual chromosomes, allosomal disorders. Okay, in this chromosomal time, it is not a variation in the gene level, it is a total chromosomal level, it's chromosomal number or chromosomal structure levels, it will be changed. Based on that Klinefelter syndrome we seen, and then Turner syndrome we seen. Klinefelter syndrome in males, Turner syndrome in females. Then in the last video I concluded to about regarding autosomal chromosomal disorders I will tell. So autosomal chromosomal disorder means in the 23 pairs of chromosomes in the human being, the first pair to first 22 chromosomes are there, 22 pairs of chromosomes. In that some of the chromosomes will be show the something abnormalities. That abnormalities are leads to the some disorders. What is that disorders we want to know. In our syllabus, okay, Neet syllabus, not our NCERT book. In our Neet syllabus, they are giving the several disorders. One is a Down syndrome, second one is a Edwards syndrome, first one Down syndrome, second one Edwards syndrome, third Patu syndrome, Cry-do-Chart syndrome, and chronic melanogeneous leukemia. These are the important disorders regarding to the autosomal chromosomal disorders. Okay, so now you got an idea up to autosomal, what is that thing, and allosomal. Okay, allosomal means sexual chromosomes. Now let me start today video session. See in the first column, I think it is a somewhat of a pale color, I mean something not visible. I am point outing that place, you have to focus it. First one, Down syndrome. Here Down syndrome are either Edwards syndrome, Potter syndrome and Cry-du-Chat syndrome and chronic melanogenous leukemia. Whatever it is, what I am discussing with you, autosomal disorders, that autosomal disorders are more familiar in the female offsprings. Okay, what is the reason we don't know, but maximum time it is repeated in the female offsprings, female fetus. Okay, females are more affected in the autosomal. Of course, there is a chances, equal probability chance is there because of autosomes are same in the male and female. Autosomes are male and autosomes are number is same and structure also same in the male and females. So equal probability is there. But up to now our history, these autosomal chromosomal disorders are more familiar in the females than the male. Okay, whatever it is. Now come to the point. First one, Down syndrome. This Down syndrome karyotype we called as a 47XX21. That shortcut name, short form, Trisomy 21. What it is? Trisomy 21. Now I will comparing this one into the previously what I discussed. Trisomy 23rd we discussed in the yesterday class previously. So that is belongs to Klinefelter. In the 47, the chromosome number is extra added. Generally human being chromosome number 46 only. So extra one chromosome added. But in the previously extra added chromosome belongs to allosomes. Now the extra added chromosome belongs to autosomes. So that too which autosome? So 21 pair of chromosomes added one more extra chromosome. Okay. So based on that final number of total number of chromosomes are 47. So that's why based on that which pair of chromosome in the condition of the three sets that we call the trisomy 21. Okay, whatever it is. It is a karyotype. It is a nickname of this syndrome. What is the meaning of the syndrome also you know. Right, if the person is affected by the Down syndrome, person means the babies, okay, offsprings, affected by the Down syndrome, what it will leads, what are the characteristics? Here, delay in the physical and intellectual development. Who are born with these Down syndrome or inheritable problem of genetic problem of the Down syndrome, those babies physical development and intellectual development, IQ and physical development is very less, very less, delaying in the physical and intellectual development. That is the one thing. And then if the person, the baby is born, that born baby having the something abnormal characteristics. What are that abnormal characteristics? First one, short, sutured with small rounded head. So our head, cranial part having a proper shape of our face. But here the Down syndrome affected person, the head will be something not at any proper shape, at something little bit just like a round. Okay, so the round appearance of the head in that Down syndrome affected person, and then furrowed tongue, partially opened mouth. Furrowed tongue and partially opened mouth means in the society some of the people are exhibit these characteristics, furrowed tongue and partially opened mouth. And the incisors above part, and then our moustache is there na, and in between of the nose and mouth place, that place will be totally attached with the nose. Okay, furrowed tongue means that tongue is splitted into the two parts just like a snake. Furrowed tongue and partially opened means that only. Now I said na, upper lip will fusing with the nose. So the upper lip always is a open condition, so that's why it is appearance just like a always mouth is open condition. So that is a two important thing. These person, that baby by born with Down syndrome, some days the baby will be born normally, leads their life normally. In the furtherly is in his life, okay, it leads to several life-threatening complex problems. Okay, life-threatening problems. Okay, that is the Down syndrome. Now I will tell why it is happens. This is the one reason I will be explain. The reason when the babies, not exactly, but it is a maybe happening chances are there when the pregnant woman exposing into the ultraviolet radiation by the scanning time, the when the baby is grown inside of the mother uterus, on the time doctors health checkup time of that babies, they will be doing something scannings. In that time something harmful rays maybe it will penetrated into the uterus, mean that will be leads to the several complications of the fetal baby. So that means it leads to the something abnormal changes in the chromosomal structure and number. So that is one of the reason. And in the grahana, Surya grahana and Chandra grahana time, if the pregnant woman if is exposing to that grahana time in the outside, in that time something harmful rays will be liberated from the atmosphere, it will be leads to the something complications. Okay, that is also one of the chances. So that is the reason our forefathers, our ancestors will say at the time of the Surya grahana, don't go out, don't see that grahana eclipse, nothing but in English terminology sun eclipse, lunar eclipse is there, na? That one, that is about this. And then next one, Edward syndrome. These Edward syndrome normally we call it a trisomy 18. The karyotype is a 47XX18. Now I think you got the meaning why we call it a trisomy 18. Why here we call it a trisomy 21. Down syndrome is a trisomy 21 set of chromosomes in 3 chromosomes are there. As like trisomy 18, what it is indicates, 18th pair of chromosomes, 3 sets of chromosomes are there. Okay, especially 18. So the indication just like 47XX8. Why I mentioned here XX? Why I mentioned here XX mean here more familiar, these disorders, these syndromes are more familiar in the female offspring. So that's why here I expressed in the XX condition. So see Nana. So 47XX plus 18th chromosome. Here in the baby, these and all totally in the fetal baby time we will discuss. See, trisomy 18, extra copy of genetic material of the 18th chromosome. In such a condition, especially baby fetal stage itself die. When the baby is growing inside of the mother uterus, in such a situation also, if that baby affected by the Edward syndrome carrying these karyotype, fetal stage it will die. Unfortunately, by generally the completion of the total 9 months gestation period, the baby is delivered. Okay, but what is the thing mean? The born baby, infant baby is a problematic of severe diseases, chronic diseases regarding the heart, cardiac and kidney related cardiac. So maybe he will born, but within that 5 years age below only, the baby will die, lack of proper functioning of the cardiac and kidney functions. Now it is not a simple disorders. These and all what we are discussing now, these and all very chronic and life-threatening disorders. Okay, so that is a thing, Edward syndrome. Later, Patu syndrome. Patu syndrome, karyotype 47XX plus 13, or we call it the trisomy 13. I think you understand. So that's why directly I will be enter into the Patu syndrome characteristics. So when the person is affected by, person means the baby, developed baby is affected by the Patu syndrome, it is leads to the intellectual disability and physical abnormality. So mental retardation is there. Not only that, several main body parts or everything will be not yet well developed. You see in the reproductive system of human beings explanation time, the human gestation period is classified into the 3 trimesters. First 3 months are one part, second 3 months are second part, third. So in these 3 months, first 3 months totally full organ systems are developed in the baby, correct now? So but these type of abnormalities what abnormalities? Trisomy 21, Down syndrome or Edwards syndrome, and then Porter syndrome. Now I am explained. These and all show the aberrations, abnormalities in the chromosomal number. So extra chromosomes will added. So that's why what will happen means that functions of the chromosomes are genes. Okay, chromosome function means nothing but gene function only na. So that genes are lose their ability. So that's why it will be leads to the several complications. So intellectual disability and a physical abnormality, many parts of our bodies are in functions, and poorly developed eye. Okay, if the baby is born means that eyes will be very small in size, like China people. Okay, I am not at saying China people are suffering with Porter syndrome. For example, I am saying China people eyes, when you are observing that white eye part we can't see, totally black eye part only we see. Okay, very small eyes will be exposing. Okay, sometimes such a more than that very small opening eyes will be there. So poorly developed eyes is there in the Porter syndrome affected babies. Okay, and then cleft palate. Do you know what is the meaning of the cleft palate? Yes, in the digestive system of human being, buccal cavity upper part having the cleft, correct na? Soft palate and hard palate. Okay, that palate will be splitted. So that soft palate, hard palate is having the split. So that's why directly buccal cavity open into the nasal chamber. Up to now, nasal chamber of the nose is separating by the mouth, buccal cavity, by the roof of palate, buccal cavity, palate. But here cleft palate means a small splitting place in the palate. So that will be leads to the problem when they are mastication time. So when they are mastication time, the particles, food particles will enter in the nose. So breathing process will be interrupting. So whatever it is, cleft palate and life-threatening problems. By these, several respiratory disorders will become, respiratory abnormalities are there. So that's why it leads to the very difficulty in the breathing. Then the baby will die within some months of gap. Okay, that is a Porter syndrome. Then next what I am explaining, that is a something comedy explanation, but it is a happens. The Cry-do-chart syndrome. Cry means crying. What is the activity we done by the situationally? That cry-do-chart. Why we kept that name for this syndrome? It is a problem of the larynx, voice box of the human being. When the boy, when the person is talking time, just the words will come in the different way, that it is appearance just like a cat cry sound. From the mouth onwards, what he is speaking, that and all is visible, is audible in the form of a cat cry. So cat cry-do-chart means cat cry syndrome we call. But these cat cry syndrome is something little bit differ from the remaining syndromes. Here these first what I said, Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, Porter syndromes, these and all extra chromosome added, their chromosomes, their sets of chromosomes. But Cry-do-chart syndrome causing by the 5p minus monosomy. Monosomy means we know some idea. Trisomy means extra one chromosome from the diploid onwards. Here monosomy means it lost one chromosome, means it is indicates the monosomy. Basically diploid means one set of chromosomes, or two chromosomes are there. In that one chromosome lost means that is a monosomy. But you should be focused about 5p minus. Why I kept them hiding is side heading is a 5p minus mean fifth chromosome partially deleted. Fifth chromosome partially deleted. So that is not fully absent. Fifth chromosome in the pair condition, but one chromosome having the two arms kada, that two arms are connected with at the place of the centromere, that one arm will be missing. So that's why 5p minus syndrome, that we call as a partially, 5p means 5 partially monosomy. Okay, that nothing but indicates a monosomy condition only, partially. So if that 5p minus partially syndrome, Cray-Duchard syndrome time, it is a missing of a small part of fifth chromosome, segmental deletion. On the time that fifth chromosome contains the important genes regarding to the larynx and nervous system. By the effect of the larynx, when he is speaking, when the person is affected, baby is crying time. These are all totally babies only, developing babies. So after birth of that babies who are affected by that these Cray-Duchard, those babies crying time, that crying similarity to cat cry. How cat is crying, but we don't know, but they are find out it is a similar to the cat cry sound, like. So they kept the name as a Cray-Duchard syndrome. So larynx is a problematic in this, nervous system also problem, mental, unusual facial features. This is a time to discuss about one last year at the time of I think this is on December month or November month, we are all seen one news. That news regarding to the Assam state, a abnormal baby is born. Remember, Nana, the abnormal baby we seen in the videos, the physical appearance, how it is there, the baby crying, how it is there, these and all. So that is, on the time doctors are said about the baby, it is a genetical disorder. So the baby can't live long. So baby is died. And then the characteristics also abnormal. Such a type of baby he is lead our society means we can't accept. Okay. So that's why by the forcibly or general death or something happens, whatever it is. So here like such a type of disorders. Why I said that example means here chromosomal aberration time, so physical appearance will be changed. It will be leads to the several complications. Okay. So here Cray-Duchard is a mental retardation, unusual facial features wise. I explained about that Assam baby news. And then last, chronic melanogeneous leukemia. In the short form, we called as a CML, or another name myeloid leukemia. What it is? Myeloid leukemia. It is also something different from the last what we seen. Here Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, Pato syndrome. So these three are trisomies. And then Cray-Duchard syndrome is a monosomy, that partial monosomy. Here there is no change in the chromosome number. It is a structural variation. What it is a structural variation, I will tell. Before that, chronic melanogeneous leukemia. Leukemia means cancer. We studied already board wise, correct now. So these melanogeneous leukemia leads to the uncontrolled cell division in WBC. Okay, why it is happens? Reason, here 9th chromosome, 22 chromosome. 9th chromosome and 22 chromosomes exchanging of their arms. That means reciprocal cross is there in the mathematically we are doing the reciprocal. So one chromosome having the centromere, both arms are attaching like this chromosome attaching like this. One chromosome, one arm is going to the another chromosome, that arm will be dislocated in the way another chromosome. So a exchanging of their arms by the chromosome by chromosome. So that's why we said about reciprocal, that too one chromosome upper arm is going to the another chromosome down, lower side arm. So exchanging of the genetical chromosomes by the reciprocal condition, that's why we call it the reciprocal translocation. 46XX T means indicates the translocation. 9:22, that exchanging between the 9th chromosome and 23 chromosomes. That is about chronic melanogeneous leukemia reason. Okay, if the person affected, what will happen, sir? Here, if the person is affected by the chronic melanogeneous leukemia, that 9th chromosome, 22 chromosomes are break off and switches places. That means exchanging of their places. The short arm of the 22 chromosome, basically 22 chromosomes arms are very long. So 9th chromosome's arms are short. So 9th chromosome short arm will be come to the attached to the 22, and then 22 long arm will be going and attached to the 9th one. So when they are translocation, the 22 chromosome will be change of their structure short arm. So the 22 short arm chromosome we called as a Philadelphia chromosome. That Philadelphia chromosome, this translocation we call the Philadelphia translocation. By these abnormal chromosome, Philadelphia chromosome, it produces the abnormal enzyme of the tyrosine kinase. These tyrosine kinase leads to the leukemia. How it leads to the leukemia means, basically in the 11th standard you studied about the cell cycle. In the cell cycle, it contains karyokinesis and cytokinesis. The karyokinesis time, it has several steps. One is prophase, next metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Correct now. So then going on continuation by the cytokinesis. So if one cell is after cell division, it is to take something rest, or it not necessary to divide means it stop. But unnecessarily unwanted cell divisions are occurs by these thyrokinesin. Enzyme name is more significant, tyrosine kinase. These tyrosine kinase causes to the uncontrolled cell cycle. Okay, then that will be leads to the chronic melanogenous leukemia. Okay, that is about today videos. Today video we discussed about autosomal chromosomal syndromes. Down syndrome we seen, that is the trisomy 21, Edwards syndrome, that is the trisomy 18, and Part2 syndrome trisomy 13. First three are trisomy, and then Cry-Do chart, it is a monosomy, that to partial 5p minus syndrome. And last we seen not at any changing in the chromosomal number, only just changing in the structure of chromosomes, that to reciprocal translocation in between the 9th and 22 chromosomes. Then that genetical variation leads to the several complications. That one complication is a genetic chronic melanogenous leukemia. That leukemia time what will happen means many more number of WBC cells number will increase in our blood circulation. Sufficient number of leukocytes will be playing important immunity. Unnecessary cells are improved means that will damage our body functions. That is only. Okay, the next video I will be explain about some of the additional information regarding the Neet. That a topic not at present in our textbook. So more focus in the next video. Up to that, wait.